I'll start with the Daily Graphic. Opioids abuse destroying nation's youth. Renowned psychiatric sounds alarm. TDC invites Yoko to probe procurement breaches. Ghana Bauxite Company targets 6 million tons production this year. And G-Tech warns of abuse of honorary degrees. Dr. Kojo Yankson. Dr. Winston Namwa. Doctor, no. You know these honorary degrees and all these people parading.
I thought you were
referring to... I'm giving you one.
I thought you were referring to the actual Dr. Kojo.
And there are some people with honorary degrees, when you refer to them by their name with the Mr. or Miss title, you know, I'm a doctor. One shot is this open doctor.
Yeah, and you know...
you've not gone to the school.
If you want to be known as a doctor, go to the school and get the title.
And people paying $600 for.
And you see, somebody said he went to do 6 months. After 6 months, he has a PhD. And you're asking, what did you do?
You know, sometimes I blame the media too. We like giving people titles. So Mr. So and so, legal luminary, engineer so and so, Dr. Why. Charlie, we always want to describe somebody with big adjectives. I don't know if we think that makes the story better or that will attract the listeners.
There's a cultural,
and it promotes that.
There's a cultural antecedent to that. We have a culture that says that people who either earn or have titles bestowed upon them must be treated specially.
Yeah,
we treat our chiefs very specially, or our kung fu, or our, the unique individuals in society are treated with reverence.
Yeah.
Right? So I think we have automatically attached the acquisition of a title to the immediate acquisition of reverence. So unlike other societies where the fact that you have a title is just a function of the job you are doing. If you are a professor, it's the function of the job you are doing. You have been promoted to that position in your job.
Yeah.
If you are an engineer, well, that's a function of what you are doing. You are qualified to be an engineer. So it is not a matter of prestige, respect, and reverence. In Ghana, it is. So we are always looking for ways to assign reverence, either to ourselves or to others. So engineer this, lawyer this. Very soon we'll have journalists.
No, and you see, yes, I hear people say my name is lawyer, and I know my friends who are lawyers, but I hear that and I ask myself why. And I hear people engineer this, and I say why. When I went to Cardiff University, all the professors and doctors, nobody called them by their titles.
Call them by their first name.
Yeah. It's just your first name.
George, Peter, John.
Why? Because at the end of the day, the man, when he writes his name, he would add his qualification to it. He'd say PhD. He'd say, but even and that's it. So then he probably would say, Bob Franklin, professor of.
So all our friends who paid $600 for some shady titles, those who have been given honorary titles, please stop using them.
Don't use them.
If you want them,
but
go to school.
The G-Tech should also be questioning the accreditation of certain institutions and what they do.
Okay.
Today we've had people with PhDs from questionable institutions from other parts of the world. People have gone to countries where certain institutions, the accreditation is questionable. People have gone to Nicaragua. They've gone to institutions with questionable accreditation. People have gone to Costa Rica to institutions with questionable accreditation. They must find out. Because Kojo, for those of us who've gone to the universities in Ghana, we know how difficult it is to complete MPhil, and how difficult it is
even not to complete.
So I agree. Anyway, let's get to the news center. Zoom Lion denies allegation of employing land guards. CEO for a day, you talked about it. MTN powers young women. Selena Boa is here with Stephen Blewett, who is the CEO of MTN. And Kojo was asking, when you are in a position, what do you do? I'm sure she could have just announced some, free credit for everybody at the time. But suspicious flights, minority petitions, diplomatic community. And that's a story that has been trending since yesterday when he made it public. Now, I know many of you have said, But, Honorable John Ntim Fordjour has not been able to provide any evidence. After his first his press conference, where he said he had intelligence, he subsequently wrote a letter where he asked for a briefing or joint, for the committee. Then he's talked about the fact that he's prepared to appear before a committee. I say, let's get John Ntim Fordjour to appear before the committee and provide his facts. If Honorable John Ntim Fordjour, if a committee is, because he still insists he hasn't, and he fails to do that, we take him on. Publication of force. Because I've listened to Felix Kwachiofosu. The tracking of the flight indicates that that statement that he put out is not entirely what happened. So that the flight, he talked about, the flight came from Luanda. The tracking of the flight doesn't show that it came from Luanda, Angola into Ghana.
Both of them came from Luanda.
Yes, but one didn't come from, the first one that actually had a problem didn't come from Luanda. It came straight from Gran Canaria into Ghana. I see. Look, if Ntim Fordjour says, I have evidence, the president indicated, they want to prove that, please, let him. And I am also saying this to Honorable John Ntim Fordjour. If you have evidence, if you have the evidence, and you're being asked, you say they should form a committee. They should form a committee. Okay. They haven't formed a committee. Nothing stops you from putting out your evidence.
Honestly, this whole thing. So, Ntim Fordjour had a presser. Then we had a response from the Minister for Government Communication. There are those who say, since the question was about a technical thing, some 2 aircraft suspected of, criminal activity. Not a political thing, but a technical, issue. Maybe that was one of the opportunities for national security that is now becoming quite a media animal. We keep hearing Richard Jakpa every other day, granting interviews. Maybe they should have taken up the mantle of giving us information about where this aircraft came from, what they did, what was observed while they were in Ghana. If it had come from them, perhaps there might have been less of a debate around it. But since it came from a political communicator, it has now turned into political communication. So the issue itself still remains untouched. And I'm curious about something. Okay, so Ntim Fordjour says we have intelligence. You see, it's the language he used. We have intelligence that these 2 aircrafts are suspected of transporting cocaine and cash. And he didn't just say cash. He said various denominations of US currency. These are details. Okay, so why don't you want to share this intelligence with with law enforcement? Because that's what the president said you should do. The president said, okay, thank you for your press conference. Share your intelligence so that they can look into it. You didn't share it. Some politician has now responded. You say he's a liar. Where is the intelligence? Now, guess what? Your colleague in the minority, Abu Jinapo, is now calling for the international community to bring information about the 2 flights. Now someone else should bring you information. I thought you said you have intelligence. So who should now bring you information? So for me, honestly, on both sides, this could have been handled better. But why has it even turned into an issue of 2 sides?
In a serious country where drug abuse is affecting your youth, and where internationally you are known to be a transit point for the drug trade, some of these things don't even have to end up in the media to be a political conversation.
It should never be.
Right? If you have intelligence, you submit to it because you are part of government. If you are in parliament, whether NDC, MPP, CPP, whatever, you are still part of government. You're on the defense committee, you work with the appropriate agencies to fix it. You only come out when you do a lot of work in the background and you realize that nobody is really interested in getting this problem solved. Then maybe you blow the whistle, right? This whole thing with Ntim Fordjour has said this Felix saying this, people running on social media. It's like we always want something to debate. And whilst we debate, your young boys and young ladies are on red. Your former chief psychiatrist is raising the alarm as to how opioids are killing your people and rendering them almost useless. And we look, Felix, Ntim Fordjour, the security agencies, let's end this public debate on this. Let's get to work.
Exactly.
Crime too. How does
No,
it
I mean,
become political?
look,
Let's get to work.
Let's stop. Oh, he's lying. He's lying. Look, if we're all prepared to deal with this, we'll deal with this. And I say, let's reach a consensus. Let everybody provide us our information, and then we move on. But the opioid you talk about, I saw this video of this young man trying to, clean the windscreen of a vehicle so he could get paid. You know what they do in traffic.
Yeah.
And the guy all of a sudden is going off. I mean, it's like he's... and I see this guy, you ask what could be happening. I am concerned.
Look, Winston, in the bush, right, the boys are always on energy drinks and some pills. So I notice, I try to look around the other farmers and their stuff. You go to any bush right now, you see bottles of all sorts of energy drinks and packs of all sorts of pills. It's a big deal. So we need to work on it.
Let me sound a warning. There are countries that have far advanced populations when it comes to education and enlightenment. And even they are being crippled by opioid pandemics. Ghana cannot survive an opioid pandemic. We just don't have it. We don't have the mental capacity to survive an opioid pandemic. So those who say they are leading us had better kill this one before it even, kill it in the womb. Before it becomes a problem that we will never recover from. We don't have the population that can survive an opioid pandemic. We don't.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, the Okada riders are here. Okada riders below age 25 will be arrested. Government sets new rules. The story...
Why 25?
That's a good question. We need to talk to the Minister of Transport and Road Safety Authority. Why 25?
Yes,
Why not 18?
Abraham Amalba would have to answer some questions.
Yeah.
So, with my very good friend Joseph Bukari Nikwe, a member of Parliament for Sabuba.
Yeah, honestly. And I'll tell you one thing though. Israeli was giving me a bit of insight. He interviewed somebody once who suggested that actually the 25 thing is a bit to have drivers gain a bit more experience before they are given control of commercial vehicles.
Okay.
So you can get your license at 18, but you have to be 25 before you can get a commercial vehicle.
Okay.
A rather flawed argument, because you could get your license at 25. You still be inexperienced.